I'll be brief. I know the football players have to come out, and I have practice at 1 o'clock. So last night our game was more like we expect the San Diego State basketball team to play. I was pleased with the performance, and now we need to continue to get that kind of effort and efficiency as we move forward. Huge weekend for us, Thanksgiving night with Cal, a legitimate top 10 team, and then either West Virginia or Richmond, who are both very, very good. So we're excited to be playing two teams of high caliber, and I like the disposition and attitude of our team. We will get better. This is a long stretch of a lot of games in a short time span. I think we will wind up after Long Beach 5 games in 12 days. So practice is at a premium, even though we have to keep it short. We still have to get a lot of stuff done in practice, and that's critical for us as we move forward. So I will entertain any questions that anyone may have.
Hey, Steve, the challenge of force-feeding freshmen at this level, how do you know how far to push them into it versus getting them overwhelmed and confidence shattered?
Talking about our own team.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we've got 3 first-year players. Jeremy Hensley at the point, Zylan Cheatham, a redshirt freshman, and Ben Perez, who's playing a lot of minutes for us. But you look at our opponent on Thanksgiving night, they have 2 major players who are freshmen, in Brown and Rab. So if you play it, if you're going to be on the court, I have to assume that you're not going to wilt under the stress of the moment. Our guys have done a pretty good job of playing. Jeremy Hensley has had some wonderful moments. He plays unafraid. Zylan is our energizer bunny. Nobody in America plays harder than he does. And Ben might be our best shooter. So those 3 guys have done a nice job of just playing. And they have to continue to do that. We're going to have some peaks and valleys with them. And we got to hopefully smooth them off and take them out if they get a little bit rattled, but then put them right back into.
Coach, what kind of attitude did your guys come in with on Sunday? Were they frustrated? Were they hurt? And how much is that going to work for them going forward towards Cal?
No one likes to lose, and especially when you're used to winning at home against teams that everybody says you're supposed to beat, then the buzzards come out and circle and tell you everything you've done wrong and all those sorts of things. You can't fall into listening to what everybody says, and yet you can't just say, well, everything's okay, because we played awful. And I don't change lineups, but I change the lineup. I met with the 3 players who didn't start prior to practice. I met briefly with the 3 I did start right before practice, and they did what I thought they would do. Nobody likes to be taken out of the lineup, but they accepted it, and some of them said, I agree with you. I'll be ready, and they were. So I like the way we responded after we made the lineup change. And you got to be ready. 2 things you can control as a player: attitude and effort. You can't control minutes, shots, but you can control that, and we talked about that also.
Steve, any concern about trying to find points in the paint and the block, considering the limitations of Spencer and Angelo's hot and cold performances? Are you looking for points?
We'll hopefully find a way to get a few more touches for quick baskets. I think Zylan Cheatham gives us a guy that we can throw it to him either in the low post, short corner, and he is quick getting the ball and getting it to the rim. Angelo's got a pretty good, if he just slows down, jump hook. Skylar's got to believe that he can score. In early practices, Skylar, his offense was significantly improved. So we're 5 games in. I've got Skylar, who's a 3-year starter for us, who's going to play, and we got to have him be productive. We can't have our 3 seniors go 0 for 0 for 0 for, which is what they did against Little Rock.
Coach, you said you're not a guy that makes a lot of lineup changes. Now you made a pretty significant one. How do you go from here? How do you sort of approach going forward? Do you go back to just, I'm not going to change the lineup, or do you think there could be more changes in the next coming games and weeks?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Hopefully whatever we do, those who play will play effectively. But I've asked myself that same question. We've talked as a staff, so I'm a little bit uncertain as to exactly what that's going to mean as we move into the Thursday-Friday game. I don't know.
Could you talk a little bit about Cal? How much of an upgrade are you going to be seeing on Thursday night? And why you said they're a top 10 team? Why are they?
They've got a nice infusion of youthfulness, and those two freshmen and veteran players, Wallace, Bird, Matthews, are all multi-year starters, and they're very athletic and talented. This will probably be a combination of a BYU type of running team. I've been very impressed watching how hard they push that ball when they get it. So we can't give them an inordinate number of runouts for quick looks and baskets. And they really guard you hard. They're gonna come out and put hard pressure, not only on the ball, but every next receiver. So there are going to be some times when we become a little disjointed. You just can't turn the ball over and can't panic. But they're going to put heavy heat on us defensively, and they're going to run like crazy. And they score points in bunches. You know, they missed their first 11 threes against East Carolina, and then they went on a 10 or 12 to nothing run. I saw them do the same thing against Sam Houston State, their most recent game. They were behind 7 to nothing out of the gate and scored 10 straight points. So they have runs that you have to be able to stop and not let a 6 to nothing run become a 16 to nothing run.
With the amount of pressure they put on the ball, how confident are you with Jeremy handling the ball against that good of a team?
Jeremy's got a lot of courage. Jeremy will be fine. Jeremy's turnovers have not come on somebody guarding him hard. They've come on when he got into traffic, not knowing whether to continue to try to get that angle and burst it to the rim or pitch it to somebody. But Jeremy will be fine. Will he have a turnover? Probably, but hopefully he won't have back-to-back-to-back kinds of turnovers.